You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 14th of February, 2025. It is 55 days after the winter solstice. It is 34 days before the spring equinox. Today is Valentine's Day. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 26th day of Pluviose, the day of Ged, of Woad. The sun rises today at 6:51 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:10 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:30 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:58 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6:30 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 29 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 96% full at midday. The last quarter will arrive on Thursday, the 20th of February. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the early morning, low tide, 5 a.m., minus 3 centimeters. Near midday, high tide, 11:20 a.m., 1 meter 37. In the evening, low tide, 5:23 p.m., minus 9 centimeters. In the middle of the night, high tide, 11:44 p.m., 1 meter 37. In our shared realm of plants and animals, now as we reach the middle of February, we think of our neighbors to the north, especially in the Adirondacks and the Berkshires, whose maple sugaring season is about to begin. As the nights remain freezing, but the days get milder, the sap will begin to flow. The season lasts about 6 weeks. Commemorations. On this day in 1349, a pogrom took place in the city of Strasbourg. 900 Jewish people were burned at the stake, while the other Jews of the city were expelled. It was part of a wave of pogroms that took place in Europe, as the majority blamed the Jewish minority for spreading the Black Death, a salient reminder of how societies under stress often turn on those that they can other. On this day in 1615, Felipe Guaman Poma de Ayala, or Guaman Poma, wrote to Spanish King Philip III. The Peruvian nobleman of Quechua descent offered the king his handwritten treatise, El Primer Nueva Crónica y Buen Gobierno, the only text reflecting an indigenous Andean perspective to survive from the period. The king never received it. The manuscript is now in the Royal Danish Library in Copenhagen. On this day in 1779, the English explorer Captain James Cook was killed by native Hawaiians near Kealakekua on the island of Hawaii. On this day in 1803, Chief Justice John Marshall of the United States Supreme Court delivered the ruling in the case of Marbury versus Madison. The decision established the principle of judicial review, under which the courts could determine the constitutionality of acts of the other two co-equal branches of government. In his decision, he wrote, "A law repugnant to the Constitution is void." On this day in 1920, the League of Women Voters was founded in Chicago. On this day in 1989, the Iranian Ayatollah Khomeini issued a fatwa encouraging Muslims to kill the author Salman Rushdie. His crime? Publishing his novel, The Satanic Verses. Today we wish a happy birthday to Terry Gross, the radio host and interviewer. She was born this day in 1951. Happy birthday, Terry. And happy Valentine's Day to all who celebrate it. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 14th of February, 2025.